something great for you. And that's why I said a bit of counseling for for our youth, for your children, and for your marriage. And of course, we will be talking and dwelling more on health this morning, guys. We will be discussing the topic wellness on the move. We want to know why we are no longer having or enjoying longevity like the people in the 1960s, 1915, 1908, and why are we, let me not say why are we dying in our prime. Most of those things are related to health issues, and sometimes these things erupts from stress, everyday should I say everyday challenges that we are faced with. It's either we have heartache from relationship or you have the body ache from the stress of the day. And how are we going to cut down on the stress is what we want to learn on the program this morning, because it's going to be an open kind of conversation. We will open the phone line so quickly this morning for you to join the conversation as our doctor will be doing justice to the topic wellness on the move. But outside that, let's come back to the major things that we run on the program every day, which is the news analysis. So I'm not going to be doing this alone. Michael Armstrong is here with me as usual to co-host this amazing program with me. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Let me call her Madam Miriam, because you're sounding very beautiful.
Oh,
and apart from that, you're giving this atmosphere very pleasant, Even if someone is tensed, when you just come in, just hear that voice, you'll be calm.
I hope you're not just joking.
Well, it's not joking. I wanted to take you out, but it's just that you don't like local things, because there's something called kuli kuli recipe, and I know you're not ready for that.
Obepa recipe. Why is it that it's just about food when Michael Armstrong says something?
Food is part of the
Why
essence of life.
can't you take me somewhere better? I'm not those girls that will tell you, okay, if you need to take me out, send me 2K for my transport and take me to the restaurant.
Okay, they are never chop syndrome. I never chop. I
didn't say that, so I didn't say that, so. Because it's Wednesday, we will be, like they say on pigeon programs, that we're going to shook mouth for things we matter.
Okay.
And so we'll be putting our mouths into discussions that, are highly conversational. And of course, must have happened to you as a person. You must have experienced it. And that's why we, brought the topic wellness on the move. Every day we notice that when you are fine today, tomorrow you're not fine. It's either the weather is affecting you, it's either you ate something that is not really nice. And when you buy food by the roadside, that is one biggie on its own. And I learned something from someone. She said at my just concluded church anniversary, and she said, do you know that you can put soda mint inside a widow? She said it will make it draw better and last longer without you having to keep it in your freezer or microwave it again. I said, are you serious? How many of these things do we know that we are consuming? More than enough chemicals in our food. Preservatives that are not meant to be in meat are there now because people want to eat something extra sweet. And when you see some of these things, the process, which, they go through to cook this party food, oh my God, you will sigh so heavily and say to yourself, why am I even here to even eat this kind of food? And that's why some people don't really like, eating party foods. And we were discussing something this morning. We said we hate a particular food that was not sweet. And, it was not tasty at all. And that was what prompted, asking for the second plate. at an event. All right. So you don't say Babulonje Kuni wanna know.
Abi?
It's not about that. It is about the taste. Who is your caterer that is making that food? Let us know. But outside of all those things, you need to be cautious of what you put into your system.
Your system.
Very, very important, please.
I like what you said. You said, I wanted to say what you put into your mouth.
Not
A lot of people forget that the mouth is like a doorway to your system.
Yes, to your system.
And your system reacts to anything. I repeat, anything. I was telling a young guy this morning, I said, you're coming for the club. He just looked at me like that. I said, yeah. I said, it's affecting your eyes and all that. You're not having good sleep. You're looking haggard. He looked at me. I said, yes. I said, they are calling you fine boy. You're not a fine boy. You look haggard. And you don't eat. All the things you eat are fabricated things.
Yes.
Junks. I said, look at you. And you go to club every day. And I know you're spending a fortune. Just relax yourself. Take your bath. Eat good food and sleep. Instead of you looking for the next
Get
alcohol,
your 8 hours of rest.
Instead
Very
of you
important.
looking for the next alcohol you take. The girl just looking at me like this. I said, it's your body.
And they already know now, because we have more sensitization ongoing about, high consumption of alcohol. But these people feels like they are saying their own. Our fathers took alcohol and nothing happened to them. Did you know how they trained them? Did you know, like the worry people will always take alcohol to the littlest of them.
Yes.
In that community, they take alcohol more like it's a tradition for them. They bathe their children in alcohol. I'm not joking. I saw one. They said they were baptizing the baby.
In alcohol.
They baptized the baby with alcohol.
Also.
Yes, and they said,
Also.
and more like the Yoruba people will say that, Oteke Ikpago, if you are from the family where they do masquerade and all of those things, there is a way they train their children such that the alcohol will not affect them. But let me tell you something. Outside of the tradition norms and for other people, high consumption of alcohol is dangerous to your health.
Consumption.
Yes, of alcohol. Because if you
Okay.
consume alcohol, the normal, level, you have your own personal gauge. This is this is the highest I can take. That's fine for you. Like David said, if I want to take it, I'll take it in my room. I know Wasiu was lying. He said, I don't take it at all. Well, fine, all well and good. But even as a person, maybe a lady or whatsoever, if you have to take alcohol, now you have to take it, responsibly. You have to take it with caution. People like me, that we have, fat and all in our body, and we take it for us to shrink the fat. And there is a particular blend that you can take of alcohol. Maybe you take it early in the morning, you do your exercise, then you forget about it. And it's not even up to a shot.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's not even up to a shot. But because if you are taking more than a shot, then that means you have become
No, I want to ask this question. Let me ask this question.
As a means of washing or trimming down your weight.
I want to ask this question. Are you advising the Wafarians, the people who are from Warri?
That's what I'm saying. We can't
advise them to not to always take if they want to take or what?
No, I'm not advising them to take.
Okay.
I said forget about the norms of some people.
Okay.
This thing is a norm to some people. It's their normal way of life. I said they baptize their children.
Baptize?
Yes. New babies.
So what's the rationale behind such baptism?
Have you seen them name their children? The normal Christian that would do. They throw the baby inside water, then the baby comes up again. Once they pick up the baby, they baptize the baby with alcohol. Have you seen it before? You've not seen it.
I've not seen it. I've just heard of it.
You really need to travel, sincerely speaking, to learn about other people's culture. And that was why I mentioned the Oje too. The Oje family.
I knew about
So that's what they do, just for them to ensure they have this thing accustomed to them, because that is their own way of worship. You know, remember we always say Nigeria is a secular state, and it gives room and space for other religion and tradition to fly in whatever sense they want to. All right, enough of that. What I'm just trying to say, until we have our doctor on the program, please stay safe and be responsible, and please be cautious of what you take. Into your system. All right, let's look at the front burners this morning. I mean the dailies that we have in Nigeria, and I'm going to be starting, with the Guardian newspaper this morning. I love their motto: "Conscience nurtured by truth." And the first story I have here is suspense as Tinubu APC neck meet over zoning a new chairman. And that's on the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Okay, somebody is watching us and he said, see how you give Armstrong a Laojukon. You really need to travel. All right, we can see that too. I didn't give him a Laojuko. Is it a Laojuko?
Don't mind them, though. Don't mind them.
All right, just hold on with the message. We are still here. Okay, that ICC renovation and renaming of public assets. That is an editorial that you can read on the page 42 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. We have reps consider restricting politicians' families to public hospitals and schools. And that's on the page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Okay, talking about the restriction of politicians and families to public hospitals. Is that achievable, Michael? That is not, because if we can have a system where people no longer trust the healthcare in our country until they get to the UK to receive treatment, and some even prefer to transition from the UK.
What I just see is this: most of the so-called hospital, because there was a time we said something like that. A particular state have like 58 clinics in a state.
All right,
that they are trying to improve the medical whatever. But the challenge here is this: if they themselves, who spent their money, who write budgets on health and security, are still running abroad for such thing, it means there's nothing to write home about. That they are just doing what we call same of the same, coupling the cock. You understand? So they are not really giving the country what they need. So that's why they themselves don't trust in the system, and yet they are telling somebody to trust in the system.
They themselves do not.
They don't trust in it.
That's so pathetic, but then that's where we find ourselves. Even, we have doctors. I can tell of 3 doctors who are chief medical, doctors, CMDs, who owns private hospitals, and they still work with the federal government, and they have links abroad. When anything goes wrong with a particular person's system, they will advise you it's better you travel out of the country. Yes, I've been there. Well, I don't want to say this very sad story, but then it's okay. All right, moving on this morning, we have Senate approves Tinubu's $21.8 billion loan plan and 758 billion naira pension bond amid soaring death concerns. And that's on the page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. We have from the foreign scene, stakeholders warn of setback for Nigeria, Africa as U.S. exits UNESCO. Trump said it, and it is, happening now. He said the United States will exit UNESCO, and it's happening now. If you want to read more about that story, you will find it on that same page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Tension as security operatives deny Natasha access to National Assembly, and that's on the page 29 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. This story of Natasha is one that it keeps giving us some different vibes every day, and I do not really know or can't tell why things are happening this way.
Hey.
So I just hope that the federal government, just listen to the plea of Natasha Akpoti, so that we can have a woman, thrive beautifully. Because this one is not beyond begging, that I'm sorry, this is a way of, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
The Natasha Akpoti thing to me is becoming a social media jingle because everybody knows there's one Natasha Akpoti. So the thing there is this. Are they saying that most of the things that's been said by the courts, most of the things that have been agreed by the Senate, are they fallacies or are they just a means to an end? Because the Akpoti thing, I believe it should be, to me, I believe it should have been a stale news by now.
It should have been. They should have,
just give her the little attention she needs. I call it little attention because she's a person. But they should look at the bigger picture of her constituency. Because as you're giving, most of your allocation will not be going there because she's not on set. They will just divert it.
And she's trying her best, apologize, come back to the system, do things right. But then I feel tendering the apology is not really what, she should do, because nobody is perfect. She might be right, she might be wrong. And Akpabio is not also a saint. And it's not like Akpabio is that man that will not commit sin. No, the son of man that will not. All right, moving on this morning, let's look at the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper this morning. The Punch newspaper this morning. All right, we have stories of APC Mepik Ganduje's successor at make or break neck meeting. And that's a serious one. Al-Makura, Yilwata, Dalori top race, lobbying thickness. Tickens, and the North Central demands Lord Constitution review on NEC agenda. And that's the story, that made rounds yesterday, because the APC was actually doing theirs. They have this fraction in-house, and we also have that of Abure-led, committee, that of Labour Party. Everyone is coming out now. That is speaking. Now these two parties are. These two parties are, doing something that is giving Nigerians concern that what is going to, happen in 2027, because Yoruba people will say Tomoba Mashida that is singing Latin Mamo, because the Ori is about to war and is not being straightened. And but I just hope that Nigeria will get it right sometime soon. Nigeria will get it right sometime soon. All right, moving forward, let's look at the same Punch story, and I can see a picture story of a sick, baby. People talking about the Israeli protest in Tel Aviv over Gaza food shortages, and that's to say that this is beyond the war. This is more like wickedness on the part of the two warring countries, because you say you are looking for a way to take back what belongs to you rightfully, which is the land and all. If the boundaries is being gotten as you have claimed, what happens to the people that will be resident of that country? Are you going to be presiding on cats, on rats, on dogs, on chickens? Is it not the people? So why are they stopping food from getting to people who needs food? Why are they doing all of these things? This is inhumane, and things need to be done. Things really need to be done.
Well, the politics in Gaza has been overrun by so many things happening. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu, with all his claims, should also know that the insurgency in Gaza is not just an ordinary one. It's from a separatist group, the Hamas and the rest. They should not let it tell on the mere citizens who don't even know, who are not part of whatever. And they should just let them have food, for God's sake. They should let them have food. They should let them have good water. They should let them even have a safe passage. But their fear is that they said most of those security agents, those insurgents, most of those terrorists are acting like normal humans, and they are going to hospitals, they are going to schools. That's why they want them to, fish them out through the hunger thing. But I believe Benjamin Netanyahu, if you ever get this post, there are things beyond war. One of those things is humanity. Whether you like it or not, humanity will continue. So you need to please have a little bit of empathy to those ones who don't have somebody to fall back to. Then I believe you should have a better way to handle the Hamas. And also have a better way to handle the citizenry within this region. If not, you'll be having such kind of challenges continually. I want to thank the people in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv used to be the capital of Israel one time. And when Al Sharon was the president, he had an issue too with Gaza. But in Tel Aviv, they did a little bit of meeting. Al Sharon later got a stroke, and after then, we will not hear about Al Sharon. Then Netanyahu is always coming back because the Israeli believe he fights for them, and because his brother was also one of the people that did the rape of Entebbe when it comes to Uganda those days. So they believe he's a veteran, they believe he knows what he's doing, he's a leader, but he is stubborn. They know he's stubborn, and they also know that Netanyahu is also one of the people who is preaching peace because he signed the peace treaty. So let's look beyond that. Let's look to what is going to happen to these people. They are humans. They need to eat. They need to feed. They need to live the normal human life. They should change. The Israelis should change their strategy on what we call a counter-terrorist thing. They should change their strategy. They should use better strategy. They should also use better coalition. They should form a partnership that will make these things work, because if they do not, they are not just killing humans, they are killing innocent blood. And I don't think any part of this world wants to see that. Now, the United Nations are really not doing much. They are only talking. And because they are good in talking, yes, I'm not dissing anybody, because they are good in talking, they could just provide a solution, but most times they don't follow it up, because most of the things happening in those regions are beyond what we call cutting doors. Cutting doors in the sense that no matter what the United Nations say, the so-called Arabized nations, they will say their own and do what they have said within their coven, do what they have said within their factions, and do what they have said within their own personal, let me use this word, parapo meeting. They do within themselves. They do parapo meeting. So the United Nations believe that this so-called Arabized League of Nations are not really ready to make such events subside. They are not ready. So because of that, the United Nations looks as if it's a toothless bulldog. Because when you tell Israel to do this, it listens more to the European, then he gets backing from America. When you tell Netanyahu to do this, he does it. But the Arabized nation will tell their brother, don't do your own. So I just hope and pray that these people will get a better way and a better lease of life to do what they want to do, and not put the lives of innocent people and young children to danger, please. They should try. They
should try. I know that the world will not, just sit down and keep watching. I mean, the world leaders, they will find solution to this sometime soon. We've been praying the same prayer for a very long time until it, deteriorated into this very sad incidents. But I just pray that we'll get what we need, someday, which is the response to final stoppage of the war. So moving on, still on the Punch newspaper this morning, I have Article 1 as Okpebolo Wike insists on Obi's visit clearance, and that's on the page 7. I don't know why they keep on, bringing the stories of, the opposition leaders. They just want to be in the news. They want us to keep talking about them. Instead of that, do something, beautiful, amazing, and more interesting than where did you go? Why did you go and visit the person? I don't understand.
They are planning for 2027.
On
So
2027.
they want to be in the faces of the youth, saying that our leader is performing wonders in XYZ places. So or maybe they are making money from social media too.
Maybe. ADC boils over Tinubu's endorsement by Adeleke and Onyilola. And I have another story here, which is Dangote exports 1.3 billion liters of petrol as marketers buy foreign fuel. That means Dangote is not, selling his crude here. He's not selling his oil here, to us as a nation, or is it that he's just producing for other nations of the world, or something is happening, or are they still having rift, with the NNPC? I thought they resolved it already.
So the system here is this: rifts or no rifts. IP-Man is an association that handle the carcasses and oil. So the challenge here is, I won't want to use the word IP-Man. The challenge here are the people who own refinery, please. Since they own their refinery, they want to sell their products. And only the biggest market in Africa is still Nigeria. They'll bring their products to sell. And Dangote, when he was investing, knows all these things. And those men, some of them invest in him, some of them, he knows them. So he also knows that they will not allow him thrive in Nigeria the way he wants. That's why he has to sell abroad. Even though if he wants to sell to Nigerians, they still want Nigerians to behave there's a little bit of shortage. They want us to be part of the so-called global financial and shortage system, which has not been helping us before. If you remember, we've collected loans, IMF loans, IMF loans. IMF loans caused the first challenge in finance Nigeria is facing till today, since 1986. IMF loan, when you heard about the SAP, Structural Adjustment Program.
Structural
it was IMF loan.
Adjustment that did not
It
get
was
to
IMF
us.
loan. That's what I'm saying. Now you want us to do, because the challenge the OPEC community have with Nigeria is that our inflow and outflow of oil is not complete, it's not accurate. They gave us 2 million barrels per day before, but I don't know if they've changed that. So, but they still know that some countries are having excesses. So since those countries are having some excesses, where did they get the fuel from? Where did they get their so-called AGO from? Where did they get their crude oil from? And we have Bonny Light here. And all those kind of things like that. So because of all this, those people who are making money off this system are still in the system, and they are the big wigs. Dangote knows. So that's why Dangote will always want to sell outside. And I want to truncate their own gains through their markets. But IMF is happy with this. OPEC is happy with this, because if you say you have everything and we're not seeing the impact in your citizens, we are not seeing the impact within your local communities, within the countries around you, that means you're doing something. So the import they are importing is filling the spaces of what the world, OPEC and the likes are looking for when it comes to influx of cash and kind, influx of material and the usage of goods. They are just filling the books because we are not feeling the impact.
And we are not feeling
We're
the
not.
impact.
We're not feeling the
Indeed,
impact.
we are not really feeling it. And we need to, work better as a country. All right, Senate okays Tinubu's $21 billion foreign loans. And that's on the page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Again, I have the story of Natasha heads to court after Senate blockade. So please, like Armstrong said, Michael, He said, please give her the little attention that she needs, but then do not trivialize the attention. There is nothing like little attention. She needs the attention. I am on the side of a fellow woman. So please, let her be.
Okay.
All right, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. I have confusion persist over APC NEC meeting. Governors WNC in dark over caucus. And that's on the page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Osun PDP leaders endorsed Tinubu Adeleke for second term. And we have on health issues, owning a smartphone before age 13 linked to poor mental health. And that's on the page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. I think I have to support this. I'm in support of this. Before the age of 13, you buy your child a phone. I'm not talking about the tab they use in school. Even as my child uses the tab, I do well to keep it and know what time she will be using it. That is when they want to do their painting, the assignment, they paint on the tab and all. But some parents feels, okay, let me just give my daughter the phone so that I can be calling her, so that I can be conversing. But you know what that child is using the phone for when you are not there. Remember the story of this young girl on Likey, the young girl of, I think, age 12 that I was, making up with her friends and all, and it was a very pathetic one. Some people said the mother failed, but you can't say she failed. She won't be there to check the phone. But somebody like Bisola said, my daughter will not use a phone until age 16. And after the graduation of the daughter from school, that was the first gift she gave to her, the phone. That take, this is your phone, because I know you are now matured. I know you can stop some things. I know you can, you know what response to give to people. You are mentally, ready for any comments, for any response, for things like that.
I love that.
If you are not, a child can never be mentally ready before age 13. That's why if you want to know this, you ask a child, what did your mommy eat yesterday? No matter how cautious the baby is, she will still, maybe stutter and tell you, where's your mommy? Stutter and tell you. Even if you say, don't talk to strangers, there's a way. Auntie, she will still talk. He will still talk. So, because they really don't know how to, gatekeep things yet. They do not know it. Until they are matured, they have experienced life in a way, then they can know what is right and what is not right. Like our parents will say that you are only maltreating your own child, that you are beating the child for doing something wrong. That this baby is still a baby, is still a child. Until they know what is right, they can differentiate, what is right from wrong.
What is wrong.
Then you can say, okay, I'm beating you for this reason. Or when you beat, you tell them, I'm beating you, for this very thing you did, which is wrong. So you can't just tell them. So I think I'm in support of the age 13 thing.
Age 13. What you just said is parenting.
Parenting.
Parenting. Yes. I am also in support, because in guardian and counseling, when a child gets its identities by the age 8, at the age 5, a child starts experiencing different kind of growth, different kind of exposure. The mentality change at age 5. But age 0 to
That's
age 4, no, age 0 to 8, you don't beat those child. You just tell them, do this, don't do this. You can snatch things off them. Even if you do a little bit of spanking, let them know there's difference between punishment and correction. A lot of people beat their child to punish those child. They don't beat their child to correct them. Now, if you're correcting somebody, you let them know you're correcting them. Don't do it as if you're doing them a favor. That's what most parents do. And they don't know this truth. A child that you're punishing for doing something wrong, when you do something wrong, try to punish yourself, except you're not a good mentor to your child. The first mentor a child should have is the parents. The first knowledge of things outside her age, she should know, or he should know, should be from the parents. So you did well yesterday when we were discussing, where you said if a child is wayward or he's backbiting, he's garrulous, is all that is from the parents.
It's from the parent, because that's where you learn your
That's the
first-
circle.
Yes.
That's the circle you learn.
See, the
That's the
relationship
circle you learn
things
from.
comes from your own. If your parents are very strict, you realize that the child will be somewhat, strict. If the parents are not the nagging type, the child will also nag at everything, he or she does with his peers in school. And if it's a child that, that does not talk, you know that the parents does not, talk to him. Or, there are some parents that all they do is press their phone and laptop. And they don't have any kind of relationship with the child. So the child will feel ostracized. He will be a withdrawn type in the society. So that's something that, we really need to work on as parents. How do you relate with your children? What do you, discuss with them? How do you help them, relate with others? These are things we should, look into. All right, moving forward, we have... still on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, we have Africa losing $90 billion annually to imported substandard fuel. Dangote laments, and that's on the page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. I have also external reserves eat $40.1 billion in July. CBN governor, Apex Bank maintains lending rate at 27.5%, says 8 banks have met recapitalization requirement, and that you will find on the page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. We have federal government issues fresh flood alert for 28 states. I think we need to bring that to you this morning. I'm going to, bring it up on this program so that we can, we can learn from it and be prepared for the flood that is coming. Okpebolo insists Obi must inform him before visiting Edo. Michael.
Well, the thing there is this: Okpebolo is feeling he's the first chief security officer of his state, but him saying Obi must tell him. I don't know whether they have any ulterior motive. Because normally, if I want to come to visit anybody in your state, I'm not visiting you. I'm visiting the person. So if I want to come and they say, as if he's talking as if Obi is coming to rain terror or come to do one or two things, I don't think it's needed. It's needed. But if he still wants such information, he is the chief security officer of the state, the first citizen of Edo State. The Edo no be Lagos is a little bit piped down, but he believed that the Edo no be Lagos thing, if Obi comes, those people who are talking on the ground will have the power to say, Edo no be Lagos. Edo no be. So maybe he's trying to protect his own territory. There's no harm for that. There's nothing evil about that. But putting it as a law that Obi must come, I believe is exaggerated. It's overhyped. It's not something that we should dwell on. It's just a visit. We understand the one for Benue State because, they had a lot of people, they have a lot of injuries. He said some people are using that to campaign, that he does not want them to use people's life to campaign, that they had injuries, you are not giving them food, you are not telling them that you give them this, you give them that. A young guy came out and said, give us guns. We need guns to fight these people. But on the contrary, a lot of people rightly are using the so-called courtesy visit wrongly. So, but at this event, I don't think Obi means any harm. There's the people of Edo are having a peace talk within themselves, because the Esan people are still saying they still want a core Esan man, that Okpebolo came from somewhere. A lot of story, but I don't believe it should warrant somebody or saying nobody should enter my state without telling me. He is still a citizen of Nigeria, and Edo is a state in Nigeria. I believe that should be the case, instead of we looking at it as if somebody wants to come and take his land. It's
All
his
right.
land.
All right. I want to quickly look at the federal government, flood alert and, tell people about it. The federal Ministry of Environment via the National Flood Early Warning System cautioned that 38 locations across 11 states could experience heavy rainfall and potential flooding. And the affected states include Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Borno, Bauchi, Plateau, Yobe, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Cross River, and Zamfara. Stakeholders and state government says it is most advisable for you to vacate the location if you feel that it is going to be, you are going to be
Yes.
experiencing excessive flood
Flood,
there.
okay.
Or ordinarily there will be flood, but right now it seems to be, coming with full force. So you have to exit the area. Please, we need you to be safe and not that we'll be doing cry for help after the whole thing. All right, moving forward, let's look at the Hope newspaper this morning. The Hope newspaper this morning. The Hope newspaper this morning, and I have stories of Ondo First Lady rallies stakeholders for measles rubella vaccination campaign, and that's a story where we have. We also have the picture story here. Thank you, MCR. We have the picture story of the Ondo State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Abosede Osamaye, counterpart from Ministry of Education, Professor Ibekele Ajibefun, and Commissioner for Health, Mr. Banji Awolowo Ajaka. Ondo First Lady, Mrs. Oluwaseun Ayedatiwa, wife of Deputy Governor, Mrs. Bosede Olaide, and Ondo State Head of Service, Mr. Bayo Philip, during the sensitization meeting on measles rubella vaccine held at the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure. And I think that's a beautiful one. So we won't have case of outbreak of rubella measles before the thing. So this is proactiveness on the part of the First Lady. 3,160 persons displaced in Benue's renewed violence, Minister says, and as homes, schools, shops are affected, federal government rises to meet humanitarian needs. And also we have court orders final forfeiture of 222.79 crypto assets linked to Chinese cybercrime syndicates. Another petrol tanker tumbles in Oyo State, and driver drowns at Lagos Beach. I said, and you said the same at the same time. This is a very sad story. All right, PDP holds NEC meeting July 23rd to 25th. Ondo government vows to eradicate cultism, calls for collective action. And we have the story of 2027. Adeleke or should PDP adopt Tinubu? So if every other PDP does not adopt Tinubu, I know Governor Adeleke will definitely adopt Tinubu.
The adoption of Tinubu is a normal thing now, because everybody's tilting towards the one-party thing, which I also respect the ADC coalition. But the truth of this is this: whether they like it or not, he's the sitting president. He's going to win the second time.
Whether they like it or not.
Yes, because of the Nigerian thing. The Nigerian thing is always in play. What I mean by the Nigerian thing, if Bivas does not do mistake this time, the internet will be wobbly. If the internet is not wobbly, we also know that to generalize everything, the people don't get the leaders they want. They only get the leaders that could win. So that is just they
don't get the leaders they want, but they get the leader that is being given
to them. You understand? There's this popular saying in Lagos that says "Enito pass no more way," not "Enito kawe." You understand? It's
And
not
tó mọ̀wé ló mọ̀wé.
yeah, and
Ló
ẹni
mọ̀
tó
tó
pass náà
mọ̀wé
ló
ló
mọ̀.
mọ̀wé.
Finish. So the thing there is this: the system here. You know, you don't fight against a moving current. You don't. So the best they could do is to support the presidency and the presidents to be able to ascertain themselves politically and wherewithal. Now, Nigerians should go beyond party when it comes to leadership. They should go beyond party when it comes to the presidency. What I mean by the president is different from the presidency. You understand? The presidency is the seat of the president. So, and it has to do with everybody's contribution to the unity of Nigeria and to the success of its citizens.
All right, Team Ondo clinches silver at Monimac Global Softball Championship. The Hope is a newspaper produced in Ondo, I think so, and that's why it's carrying Ondo. All right, the Nation newspaper this morning. Let's move to the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper this morning. Enough of the Ondo thing. I think we have more than enough Ondo story now. All right, the Nation newspaper this morning. I have Natasha supporters create scene at National Assembly entrance, and that's on the page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Presidents to inaugurate cancer centers in Katsina, Benin, and Nsukka, and that's a very beautiful one to tell you that the healthcare sector is, is growing, is moving. It's not just there. We don't need to really travel out of the country before we get the best of treatment. But I just hope that this one that they have opened now, they have equipment inside. All right, Adeleke, because I watched a particular skit, and that skit, was one that tells us about what is happening in Nigeria, where your commissioner commissions what is not really cool, and they still get accolades for these things. And they feel that if they are giving us our basic amenities, which is more like our rights, we should applaud them. It is compulsory for us to applaud them, celebrate them, put them on our statuses and our status and our social media pages, so that they will know that they are doing something great. But then that is so wrong. If you give us pipe bomb water, my dear, I won't celebrate you. I won't appreciate you, because it is my right. Because you don't force me to do that. I will be the one to do it willingly. That's thank you for doing this for us. Not that you will say it is compulsory or mandatory for everybody to sing to you, Mabao, Babao, Babao, or you commissioning Paco on the waterways and all. It's absurd. And that's where we find ourselves in this country. We just seem to celebrate, let me say, mediocrity. That's the word.
Mediocrity.
Yes, we celebrate mediocrity.
That means the Nigerians celebrate nonsensory. They celebrate things that does not add value to anybody or to themselves. But
the fact remains that the people that are really wanted, that really are deserving of the position, are not there. They're not getting the ticket. So the mediocres, second options, okay, because this one is not available, it's not doing what we want, let's just pick this one. That's mediocrity. That's where we have, this, things recurring, and we can't just stop it. It will continue till thy kingdom comes.
Wow.
Hopefully we have a better Nigeria. Moving on the banner surface, we have APC PDP kickstarts 2027 plans with key neck meetings. Okpebolo revives Edo line with 100 buses. And that's on the page 4. Senate fumes over Ojulari's absence on the page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Ganduje's replacement standing committee, top ruling party agenda. PDP pushes for cohesion after Atiku others exit. Because obviously Atiku has said that he is no longer a member of PDP. Now he's a member of the, the party making waves on the social media, which is the ADC.
Coalition is part of politics.
It is. It has always been.
Contestation
And
is
it will
also part
always
of
be.
politics. So they should go and try their luck, like I said.
But should Atiku even go get a ticket?
Atiku is desperate. And for him to be that desperate, I believe he should have another agenda.
Yeah.
I believe because we've had Oshekini Olule before the survival of the survival before the survival came. So I believe Atiku is desperate, and the desperation, I don't know where it's coming from. Is it for the people or for his own people?
That shows that he's not for the people. It is for his own, personal, I think, reasons. He wants to just get there. And we don't know how true the story is, but we heard that when he was this vice president to President Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo, then, he was asked that, will you go for, this term after Olusegun? He said, no, I prefer this person to go or something. We don't know how true that is, but then I think he lost it ever since that time. Okay. And he started the contestation thing. He started contending with other people and all. All right, and that's what we have today. But hopefully we have a Nigeria that does not celebrate mediocrity, like I always say. We shouldn't be having somebody like Atiku, contest this year, next year, and we have like him contesting for over 6 times or 5 times or 4 times. I'm just saying, at least if you should contest and not win 2 times is okay. Why repeat and come back, try your luck? Nigeria is not a game now. It's not a bet.
You know what?
So why should you try, go off and come back, go off and come back? For what reason? All right, let's quickly wrap this up. So we'll go on a short break, and that's CBN. 8 banks meet recapitalization threshold. Adeleke Onyolola, Osun PDP leaders back Tinubu's re-election. President to inaugurate cancer centers in Katsina. That was a story, we took the other time. And I have another story, which is a burning, which is really, really, of human interest, which is the Eastern Rail Line project gets $3 million vote in $21 billion external borrowing plan. This is a good one, so that people won't have to travel and always wait for the aircraft, which is airpiece that will drift off the line. It's so pathetic that we keep experiencing things like this in Nigeria. I just hope that if every other transportation system is functional, we won't have to put all the burden on the aircraft or the burden on the road transportation system.
Well, the Nigerian system, if you talk about transportation and you talk about the minister, that's what comes to my mind, the Minister of Transportation. I'm not dissing anybody, but you have a lawyer who is the Minister of Transportation. Now, transportation and aviation are all of the same feather. So the thing there is this now. Do they have any disciplinary committee on this system? Because this is not the first time, this is not the second time. I'm not talking about a particular company. I'm talking about we are hearing that it drifts like this, it went like this, it happens this way, year off tomorrow, and all that. And the thing there is this, I have been in the airport for a couple of while because I grew up near the airport. So there's not those days where we have Peter Igbinedion as the air chief there. And so the thing there was this, we found out that 80% of these so-called aircraft owners don't go for maintenance. And even though if they go for maintenance and repairs and all that, it is not like what we see abroad. They just do it and push everything and make sure that the thing is funny. So that's what is.
You're closing it with fun.
Yes, it's
all
funny.
right, so that it won't be a funny and pathetic story at the same time. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll bring you business stories and, of course, entertainment stories. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to Opportune TV, your premier destination for unlimited entertainment. Opportune Television, your TV, ask for more.
KG5F Security Services. We are dependable, reliable, proficient, and gallant always. KG5F Security Services, officially licensed by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our services include general office security, personal security, asset protection, protocol services, physical security, aviation security, loss prevention, escort protection, security patrols, and access control. We are available 24/7. KG5F Security Services also provide installation of security gadgets such as CCTV camera, alarms, special communication equipment, and so on. Gallant security personnel are needed nationwide with attractive working benefits. Contact KG5F Head Office at 45 Prince Adeyemi Street off Governors Road, Ikotun, Lagos, or our branch office 25 Yaya Baton Road, adjacent Nationwide Petrol Station, Ogba, Lagos. For inquiries, call KG5F Security Services to serve and protect. KG5F Security Services. We are dependable, reliable, proficient, and gallant always. KG5F Security Services, officially licensed by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our services include general office security, personal security, asset protection, protocol services, physical security, aviation security, loss prevention, escort protection, security patrols, and access control. We are available 24/7. KG5F Security Services also provide installation of security gadgets such as CCTV camera, alarms, special communication equipment, and so on. Gallant security personnel are needed nationwide with attractive working benefits. Contact KG5F Head Office at 45 Prince Adeyemi Street off Governors Road, Ikotun, Lagos, or our branch office 25 Yaya Baton Road, adjacent Nationwide Petrol Station, Ogba, Lagos. For inquiries, call KG5F Security Services to serve and protect. KG5F Security Services. We are dependable, reliable, proficient, and gallant always. KG5F Security Services, officially licensed by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our services include general office security, personal security, asset protection, protocol services, physical security, aviation security, loss prevention, escort protection, security patrols, and access control. We are available 24/7. KG5F Security Services also provide installation of security gadgets such as CCTV camera, alarms, special communication equipment, and so on. Gallant security personnel are needed nationwide with attractive working benefits. Contact KG5F Head Office at 45 Prince Adeyemi Street off Governors Road, Ikotu, Lagos, or our branch office 25 Yaya Baton Road, adjacent Nationwide Petrol Station, Ogba, Lagos. For inquiries, call KG5F Security Services to serve and protect.
Welcome back. You're watching Early Status. Yeah, my people are just making me laugh this morning. And somebody is saying that, oh, you want to stand in for Mary Agil. But I said, let me do the business story this morning so that you will know how much of flexibility I want for myself and my colleagues. And it's just a peaceful one, a beautiful one, and of course a more relaxing moment on a Wednesday morning like this. Armstrong is looking I promise you that you go and eat kuli soup, but that's not it. All right, moving to the business story this morning. We have stories from the Nigerian Senate that has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to secure over $21 billion in external borrowing to support the 2025 federal budget. The approval came after a debate on the importance of funding critical infrastructure and social projects, despite growing concerns over the country's debt profile. The borrowed funds are expected to be channeled into power, transportation, education, and health sectors in line with the administration's strategic development agenda. And financial experts have raised questions about Nigeria's debt sustainability, especially with a debt servicing burden that continues to strain government revenues. However, Senate leaders argue that borrowing is necessary to stimulate economic growth and development in the face of limited domestic revenue. The Finance Ministry has also promised to ensure transparency and efficiency in utilizing the loans with periodic reviews and updates to the public. I think this is a very good move because ordinarily for your own, personal business, you still need a certain amount of loan to grow bigger, because everything is not about the capital you get, or to start that business, or I have so amount, I cannot start this business. Remember that Nigeria economy is not that favorable, and that's why we have entrepreneurs who are still trying to thrive, sink at a point when they do not get funding. And that's why you need to walk to your bank, talk to them, get a particular loan for yourself. And what am I saying in essence is that sometimes Nigeria needs to borrow. The revenue is not okay.
They need to borrow.
Sometimes we need to borrow because some people will say, okay, we don't need it. We have resources. We have this. We have that. It's because they are stealing from us. Sometimes even bigger countries of the world borrow from other nations. So what do you think, Michael?
The functionality of borrowing cannot be overemphasized in any financial country, in any financial system, because we have a population that does not have, that have what we call a rough sketch census, so-called research backing. So most times the things, the resources you put out there and say, okay, it can manage this, it's not enough. And you say maybe some people are squandering, maybe some people are not managing things well. Those factors are there too. So that is why they must borrow. The only prayer I pray, I have to use the word prayer, is that what they say they will use it for, let them use it for it, and let it help the country, let it help the society.
That is help boost the economy.
Yeah, the economy.
Have opined, let me use that word. All right, moving to the next story. This is the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has held its monetary policy rate steady at 27.5%, citing the need to sustain its inflation-fighting stance. The Monetary Policy Committee announced the decision after its July meeting in Abuja, noting that although inflation eased marginally to 22.22% in June, risk remains. The Apex Bank has stressed its commitment to tightening policy until inflation drops closer to single digits. Meanwhile, the Naira continued to depreciate against the US dollar at the investors and exporters window, trading above 1,600 Naira per dollar. Analysts link the weakening currency to persistent demand for forex, low foreign reserves, and limited capital inflows. The CBN reaffirms its resolves, to manage liquidity through open market operations and maintain macroeconomic stability in the months ahead. So this is for those that are doing online transaction in foreign currency. You need to, I tell people, if you want to buy anything now, you need to quickly check what's up with the Naira before placing your order. So that organizations like Temu will not come and cheat you.
If not, you'll be having challenges. But I like this. I like this. But the thing there is this. They mentioned one law of economy we are not keeping. Because as it is now, money theory has failed.
Money theory has failed.
Because, apart from the classical school of thought that started the so-called law of economics, since money theory has failed, in Nigeria, we should go back, or we should recycle ourselves with what we call the barter system. The barter system is advanced now. Now, that barter system talks more about using what we call equity for business. Because it's not everybody that can borrow. And it's not everybody that knows how to borrow. Some people don't even know the amount they need, but they know the number of land they need to plant cocoa. Do you understand? So I believe it's a good one. It's a good one, but we should be more careful with the way we rely on forex. More careful, because
I think I love that saying, the way we rely
on forex.
On
the barter
forex
system too is another means of exchange. The barter system is they say it's mundane. To me, it's not mundane. It's a means of exchange. It gives more prestige. It also gives more of equity. So nobody can come after me later on.
All right. That nobody can come after me later on is what is getting me, thinking about some things that I shouldn't, this morning, but I don't want to talk about it on air. All right, so the next story, we have that of S&P launching West African Petroleum Price Index, and this actually was bettered to boost transparency in the oil downstream sector. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has partnered with S&P Global Commodity Insight to launch a dedicated West African Petroleum Pricing Index. The index will capture real-time pricing for refined petroleum products such as petrol, diesel, LPG, that's the
liquefied
petroleum gas, and aviation fuel across the region. This marks a significant step in attracting investment and standardizing prices in the deregulated downstream market. Moving forward, the regulator noted that the new benchmark is expected to eliminate arbitrary pricing practices and improve confidence in Nigeria's fuel importation structure. However, regional collaboration and market-based pricing stakeholders believe the initiative will deepen competitiveness and foster economic integration across West Africa. Industry players, including marketers and logistic firms, have welcomed the move as a progressive reform. I can see Michael saying, why the
You know, the oil thing has been the mainstay since 1977.
Yeah,
when
of course.
The oil boom. So there's no family, except you're not from some regions, that does not know what the oil is talking in the markets, and who has not benefited from whatever the oil is
I hope
saying.
you are
But
not from the Oloibiri family.
I'm not. But the thing there is I've traveled to those areas well. We did something those days in Ogbia before the creation of Bayelsa. We did something in Ogbia because I used to have some part of my families who are Ijaw. So the thing there is this: I like the price legislature thing.
You have a robo. Robo, I do.
Well, the Urobo, I have a Shekiri more than the Urobos.
Okay.
A Shekiri more than the Urobos. Now, one thing I like about this is price control, price legislature in Africa. So we did not just put ourselves in the gag of going to borrow money all the time. That's what I'm saying.
All right, to the next story. The Nigeria Bureau of Statistics has announced that the Nigeria's gross domestic product has risen by nearly 30% following the rebasing of the economy from 2010 to 2019. The recalibration, done in line with global best practices, places the country's 2024 GDP at approximately 372.8 trillion naira, or about $244 billion. The updated figures reflect the expansion of new sectors like digital services, fintech, and the creative industry that were previously underrepresented in national account. Economist says while the rebasing improves Nigeria's global economic ranking and lowers the country's debt to GDP ratio on paper, it does not translate into immediate relief for households facing inflation and unemployment. However, the rebased data provides a more accurate framework for policy planning, revenue generation, and foreign investment decisions. The Ministry of Finance is assured that the updated data will be leveraged for more effective economic planning and targeted social programs. So we have a Nigeria that is growing by the day, an economy that not really stabilized, but it's improving by the day, or should I say every minute. Hopefully, we have reforms in place, policies that will, help us
help the economy.
boost the economy.
It's good, but the one that concerns me is the HDI. How does it reflect to you and me? How does it reflect to the general public? How does it reflect to the households? Because if you talk about macroeconomy does not come without a microeconomy. The microeconomy has to do with you and your HDI, which is known as Human Development Index. If it reflects there, then we're good to go.
Then we are good to go. All right, because Mary Agobo is not on set, and we are doing this just to, make it flow out like we should. We have Kudrat in the house because we know that we have some people that are following us back to back. They expect us to go on a break after the business story. But Mary should do that herself, so we'll do that for you tomorrow. We have Kudrat in the house, our beautiful, elegant Kudrat. Kudrat, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm about you?
I'm very well, thank you, my darling.
Hello, Kudi. You know, the
Hello,
name sounds
Kudi.
like a fintech. Kudi.
Kudras, good morning once again. What do you have for us from the entertainment scene?
We have Shirley Igwe suspended by AGN. Veterinary actress Shirley Igwe has been suspended by the Actors Guild of Nigeria (AGN) following an alleged on-set incident that violated professional conduct guidelines. Though details remain sketchy, the AGN confirmed this disciplinary action has been taken pending further review.
Okay. I think I read her story also. They said she did some things that are not really right, but then they have not disclosed what she did. So the Actors Guild of Nigeria have suspended her. And this should not just be done by the actors. I think this is it shouldn't end with Shirley Igwe. It should continue with other people. How about them looking at how they dress on set? You know, having them wear ordinary pants, wear something that is not really nice on set. Can't the Actors Guild of Nigeria also look into that? Kudrat, what do you think?
I just think it's just so crazy the way I don't even just understand. Like, I wonder what she did, but like
they refused to disclose it.
Maybe when we see what she did, they will like be able to like elaborate on it.
But I feel that it's not just about what she did.
Now
I'm talking about the way they appear on screen. You can't trust your 6-year-old daughter or son to watch a Nigerian movie again, because you will see a sex scene. You will see a scene where somebody is unclad, almost unclad safe.
I think it's the ones that they are just producing now, but because like the old ones that we watch, I don't see things like that.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The new ones now. What are they doing?
New ones are trying
Who is moderating all
they are
of
trying
these things?
to win the wood, the foreign. You know, the social media thing
They are
is
trying
crazy.
to copy the ones abroad.
Yes.
Well, what's wrong with our own dressing and you know, and appearance culture?
Maybe the scene, whatever scene is getting more social media clouds. Maybe that's why they are doing it.
Exactly,
But I believe
I feel they even promote that sex part. They promote
it more exactly
more than the you know the actual
movie. Yes,
the movie.
yes, because you have those scenes that you are talking about. You have it on TikTok, you have it on Facebook, you have it on Instagram, and it gets more like. Is it that you people are telling us that okay, because people are liking it, you want to produce more of unclad scene, sex scenes, and all? And some people will be saying things that are not really right. On who is monitoring the script? Who is criticizing what you are reading? Who is the critic doing all the thing on this?
I like what you're saying. The AGN should do well to just not say, okay, they
I
did
can
something.
go and see there's a lady, Lade Bakari, what is that? One young lady, Bakari, Zainab Bakari. I watched a particular movie. I stumbled on the movie. I don't like their movie. That's the truth. I don't like it because of what they wear in movies. And I can see the pant straps and all. You know, I got so angry that I was looking at the chest, everything is outside and almost unclad. All this angle is outside. And I said to myself, who is the person watching and monitoring? Okay, they just go on set, pay some people, come on set, let's shoot this movie. Within 3 weeks, they produce, they edit, they cut, they put it on YouTube. Is it because it is now YouTube, you know, movie? Most of them produce YouTube standard movies. Is it that they can't just work on it?
Well,
Tony Amaku husband, I want to remember his name now. Kola Wole Ajeyemi. He said something. He said they need to help them, you know, curb all of these things. Maybe there should be a particular guild, maybe outside the Actors Guild. They should look into it. Nigerian Orientation Agency can step in. Let them look at what they are producing. What is happening? Something is wrong. I don't want to be spiritual now. I don't want to say the devil has taken over the Nigerian movie and music industry. But then something is wrong.
And they should do well to put, like, in foreign movies, those things have their own guilt. And if you do want to put what we call them, like some movies now, if you know you have sex and put 16, let us know it is people suitable to 16, people suitable to
But then
18.
it's available on YouTube.
Even though if it's available on YouTube, I believe they should put a guide towards it. Well, the parenting still comes in for your child going to YouTube to watch those kind of
Okay,
things.
it will be well in the end, I know. Since all of them want to become Oyinbo overnight, they want to remove their melanin popping colors, and have the white color.
Where did you
and
get
all.
that popping color? I
Yes,
like
now.
I like the way you said it. It's
All right, to the next
amazing.
story.
Moving on, we have Tunde Onokoya teases Genevieve
Mm-hmm.
Nnaji. Nigerian chess sensation Tunde Onokoya caused a stir during a social gathering after Rita Dominic's 50th birthday celebration. The Grandmaster was seen playfully flirting with screen goddess Genevieve Nnaji, drawing amused reaction from fans online, while Amles, the light-hearted moment, has felt chatter about possible sparks between the two.
Like he wants to date.
Genevieve is rich now, and she's not doing anything
And
with her
she's
money.
beautiful.
She's beautiful. She's not doing
Evergreen.
anything. She's not doing anything with the money. So she should form an NGO. That guy
But the
wants.
guy-
Yeah.
NGO.
The guy is NGO,
See,
non-governmental.
sometimes I want to
organization.
question your person, but let me not do that on air. All right, to the next story.
We have Adekunle Gold publicly dismissed the bone marrow transplant rumors that had been swirling recently.
Okay, because he is SS, and some people says
Are you
that
serious?
yes, he is
He's
SS,
SS.
and he said in one of his songs that he just got he received the favor of God to be here today. That before now he used to be going on and off, but his mother prayed a particular prayer that Adekunle Loju Emimi, that it seems like you are not going to live long, but you will live long. You will buy me a house and you become great. And the prayers are manifesting now. He bought his mother a house last year.
That's beautiful.
And it's fine now. It's fine. It's fine.
So-
But that does not mean that you should use faith and go and be SS and SS or AS and AS.
Your faith must be very strong.
But this was probably, it could be that, then our parents don't really, look at the SS thing and all. But you need to go for a check, be sure that you are good to go with your spouse. Is that all we have there?
I think this one we talked about it yesterday, Kate Henshaw and her brother saga online.
And the story is still trending.
Yeah,
That's why we have
trending.
it.
It's still everywhere.
And they should go and resolve their problem in their house because that's their
Have a family meeting.
Yes, they need a family meeting. All right, we don't want to call a family meeting on Kudirat this morning, but we have to say thank you to her for giving us that beautiful compilation of news, entertainment, news story. Kudirat Koko. All right, MCR, we are going on a short break. When we return, we come with Dr. Precious Uwagbai, who will be discussing stress and how well we can manage stress. Wellness on the move. We will be back. The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs located on either side of the spine, just below the rib cage. Though small, they play an essential role in maintaining the body's balance and overall health. Every day, the kidneys filter about 50 gallons of blood, removing waste products, toxins, and excess fluids, which are then excreted as urine. Beyond filtration, the kidneys regulate blood pressure, maintain electrolyte balance. Despite their importance, kidneys are often taken for granted until problems arise. Many misconceptions surround kidney health. For instance, while it is true that foods high in potassium should be limited for people with kidney disease, they are not harmful to those with healthy kidneys. Bananas, avocados, and sweet potatoes, which are rich in potassium, actually support kidney health for the average person. Another myth is that frequent urination is always a sign of kidney failure, whereas it could be related to diabetes, urinary infections, or other conditions. Caring for the kidneys begin with staying hydrated. Drinking adequate water daily helps flush toxins and reduces the risk of kidney stones. A balanced diet is equally important, low in salt and processed foods, but rich in fresh produce, lean proteins, and whole grains. Foods such as apples, garlic, cucumbers are particularly beneficial for kidney health. For those interested in natural cleansing, parsley and dandelion teas or lemon water can support kidney detoxification. But it is important to remember that the kidneys are naturally self-cleaning organs when properly hydrated. All right, if you're just joining us, this is Early Starters, and right about now we will be exploring, simple ways to manage stress. And we have this particular, habit of not getting enough rest. Maybe, or should I say, probably it's due to the hustle and bustle in Nigeria. We want to, eke out a living from whatever it is we are doing. And of course, it is so hard in the country. It's not that favorable, but yet you need to, be cautious of how well you live your life, and of course, manage your health. And that's why I have an international doctor on the program. It's not just a doctor. He's a doctor with steez and composure. A doctor of doctors. The doctor that has always been there before other doctors. A doctor that has been there before any other doctor and after every other doctor. He is a broadcast doctor. He is an original and licensed doctor. A doctor who has worked in Nigeria for many years and of course has now, spread his tentacles. And I know that one day he will help my life too. And it will take me to the UK. Dr. Precious Uwagbai is our guest on the program. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Shebi, I told you he's a broadcast doctor.
Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
The baritone voice.
I like the voice sounds like that of Barry White.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, doctor. You're looking good as usual.
Thank you, the delectable Miriam.
Oh my God. Let me just feel good.
You didn't say anything about me.
You're a man now.
It's a pleasure meeting you. You know, when they say ladies first, so
Okay.
I'm trying
After
to
men.
give credence.
Ladies first, after men. That's the full sentence.
All right,
All
nice
right,
to meet
after
you.
men.
Thank
All
you
right,
very much.
thank you very much, doctor, for coming on the program. And I must say, I feel so good because when you have professionals, discuss a particular topic, it will be so good, and we will learn and unlearn some things.
Yes.
So on the program this morning, we are discussing stress management and common health missteps, and I would love you to please in the layman's way, because we don't want more than enough medical terms, that it will be simplified for our viewers. What is stress on its own, and when we say missteps in health, what does it mean?
All right. Thank you, our viewers. Good morning, everyone. So, stress simply means pressure or strain to the body. You see, a medium level of stress or a minimum stress is good for the body. It helps to keep focus. But you see, when the stress becomes intense, it can affect all the organs of the body, according to medical science. I'm going to be telling us the common stresses we face in Nigeria, and they are very, very common. It ranges from the traffic stress, the stress you feel when they take the light, when there's power outage, to the bad road, bad water supply, the economy itself, and sometimes the traffic, noise pollution. There's something I discovered. In developed countries, nobody press the horn. But in Nigeria, when you go to driving school, the first thing you actually learn is how to press the horn.
They told us in the driving school that you and the other person are two different people. You are the only normal person driving the car.
The other
You see
person is not
the
normal.
other person as an abnormal person.
Yes,
So
that's
I
to
think
keep
the
you on the
horn
safe
is something
side.
that will keep you, on that.
So that's actually called noise pollution, and that's a
Noise
source
pollution.
of stress. Traffic issues, insecurity brings stress. So there are a lot of. If you're talking about stress issues in this country, they are enormous. So there's a way out. Can I use one medical terminology? Am I
Please do.
permitted?
Please go ahead.
So there's something I'll teach the audience this morning. It's called Samavriti Pranayama. Samavriti Pranayama is a medical terminology for breathing box to ease stress. So peradventure you're facing stress. So the principle states that you take a deep breath. Whilst you're taking the deep breath through your nose, you count 1 to 4. So we're all going to try it on air. So you hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You breathe out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. You hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You breathe in again through your nose. 2, 3, 4. You hold it there, and then you take it out. So you do that. So you're doing your count.
All
1, 2, 3, 4. So you keep doing. It's like a square. So it's square breathing box. Yeah. So that helps you ease the stress. That's just one of the major ways. I'm going to be mentioning other ways, but it's going to be an interesting time this morning.
I trust you to make it interesting, while we, learn from the feet of a medical master. All right, sir. So how can individuals, recognize early burnout? If you feel that, okay, I'm stressing myself out, aside from the regular body ache, headache, and all, there are some things that you just mentioned that are being affected in our system. So how do you recognize them?
All right. So I'll tell you quickly how you recognize them, then I'll tell you some health missteps, which is very important for this broadcast. For some people, because our body reacts and responds differently in terms of health challenges. So for some, there is a migraine. So you feel that strain at the top of your head. For some, it's from the eyes. For some, the lips, yes. For some, the lips become really dry. they start feeling their mouth as if they are ill. For some, it's the constant headache. And then for some, they just feel like fainting. They feel weak. The body is out of oxygen. You know, the body needs oxygen to function. When your oxygen level begins to drop, then a lot of things is going wrong. Naturally, on the max, it should be 96. By the time it gets to 95, that's 1. By the time it gets to 94, that's 2. When it gets to 93, you should be in the hospital. So when your stress level increases and your oxygen level reduces, it's a big problem. That's why when a patient has a tumor or maybe a cancerous growth or something, and you do a test, what we call an extraction of the fluid. I don't want to call it terminologies that will confuse the audience. And then it's autobiopsy. All right. So when you do a biopsy and you take out that fluid and you do the test and you find out it's cancerous, if the patient's oxygen level is low, despite the fact you have all the money in the world, you still can't do the test. You still can't do the surgery. Yes. No matter how much you have, no matter how eager you are to take it out, they can't take it out because your oxygen level is low. So stress is dangerous. It can affect all parts of the human body, all the organs. So when you start feeling the sign of strain, you start feeling that pressure, you start feeling headache, it's your body's way of telling you, respond, get some rest, go and unease. You know, sometimes some people feel stress from even their health and they don't know. Your body is telling you, go to the restroom and urinate. And you're telling yourself, I can hold it. Holding urine is detrimental to your health. You don't hold it. For men, we can control to a reasonable level. If you're exercising your Kegel, I understand. That's another word, I'll break it down. Peradventure, maybe you're trying to boost your erectile levels.
That's where I'm going to.
You can hold over time, or maybe when you're urinating, you urinate and hold, urinate and hold. Yeah, it's fine.
Does
but
it work
not
for women too? Because they said it does.
Oh my goodness! So you have to pay for consultation.
Because when we are learning, let's learn about that.
I'll talk
In
about
the other room.
So there's what we call the muscles of the vagina. Are we permitted to use those words?
Of course, yes.
All right.
Of course.
So you strengthen the muscles of the vagina. So doing that is really good. It helps to strengthen the muscles of the vagina over time. So you have a healthy system. Let me put it that way. So yes, it's good, but it's more important to the men because penetration is the job of the man. So most times you guys don't do anything and you don't know how far we go to make you happy.
Yeah.
Thank you for God bless you. Thank you for that.
So
All right, doctor, back to the missteps.
so yeah, the missteps. I'm going to be telling you 5 missteps that we need to look out for in order to have a stress-free life. Number 1 is called regulated sleep. And when I say regulated sleep, I mean sleep well. If you sleep 4 hours and you think for some of us, we sleep 3 hours and we feel good. Over time, it will tell on your health. So if you want to have good health, you need to sleep minimum 7 hours. Minimum 7 hours. Take a healthy sleep. Sleeping is very important. You see, what will affect memory loss over time? There's an actor, Bruce. I don't know if you know him. He clocked 70 years old recently in America, and he has lost his memory. He doesn't even know he was once famous. You know what causes that? Burnout over time, little sleep, more stress. And then you get to a particular age where, although it has been proven that dementia can be hereditary, can be in the line, but it can also be induced by consistent stress over time, and then you can have memory loss. So misstep number 1, you need to have regular sleep. People don't sleep well, and in this part of the world, especially in this city called Lagos doesn't sleep. So we need to inculcate the habit of sleeping. This is
well.
very important, and sleeping well. Number 2, self-medication is a misstep. We need to stop it. I said recently when I was interviewed in one of the famous TV stations, I said going over the counter to get controlled drug is a no-no. It's bad. When you become antibiotic resistant, you put yourself in harm's way, because when a patient is brought into the hospital, the first thing a reasonable doctor wants to do is to stabilize you and make sure you are responding to treatment. Then we do the necessary test and then give you what your body requires. But when the test result says you have a particular illness and it tells us that you are resistant to all the antibiotics that should naturally help you, then we have problem. That's the biggest problem. So it says you are resistant to all of them, and meanwhile, on a natural basis, if you have not abused those medications, we should be able to help you and get out of the situation. So we keep managing the person, and then you hear the person is gone. Not because the doctor is incompetent, but because you've become antibiotic resistant. So you must stop self-medications, drug abuse. They all fall under self-medication. You are very quick to have flu and you want to take malaria and typhoid medicine. By the way, who told Nigerians that every malaria you have, you must treat typhoid and malaria? That's another misstep. If you have malaria, treat malaria. You don't get typhoid every 3 market days. It's not possible. Yes. So there are people. There's someone I was talking to recently. She said she was treating herself for malaria and typhoid. I said, who told you you have typhoid? She said, I can feel it too. So in the health sector, so this is not what you feel. You don't go with what you feel. You go with what is confirmed. Even as a doctor, I would need to do a health check for me to be sure if I have malaria or if I have typhoid. You don't just assume. You don't base on assumption. That's why if you check the medical process, you need to do the test before you administer the medication. If we're giving you saline or giving you fluid, it's just to stabilize you.
Doctor, please, let me come in.
Yes,
I have
please.
a question because someone said because of the typhoid you just mentioned,
Yes.
that even the typhoid test will come back the next morning to get your result is not original. That it needs to take like 2 weeks. That there's something you call culture.
Okay, blood culture.
Yes, that for you to get a real result from
yes,
a typhoid test.
So there are different types of tests. When you're talking about urinalysis, you should take 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
When you're talking about typhoid, within the week the results should be out. But there are some medical apparatuses right now that can give you the results in 24 hours. Okay. You can get it, but I repeat, malaria is not the same as typhoid. This is very important. Another thing under number 2, I'm giving you just 5 points. Under number 2, which is the issue with self-medication, the way we take paracetamol in this country, we need to really tone down on the paracetamol. Do you know that it has been proven medically that constant taking of paracetamol leads to liver constraint? So you're actually causing problems for your liver, because and then this one would really shock a lot of people. We're very quick to drink agbo. Very quick to drink agbo. Please, I practice with Nottingham University Hospital in England, and I can tell you from experience, when most Nigerians come in, the liver issues we handle is a lot more, and it's due to self-medication, drinking herbal cognants, drinking things that... Now, I'm not saying you should not take herbs, but I'm saying understand the dosage. Everything has got measurement. Even with your orthodox medicine, they tell you take 5 mils of this, take 2 tablets of paracetamol. So if you're supposed to use paracetamol, at least in a space of 4 to 5 hours, that's the window. Do you know that you're not supposed to take any medication and alcohol within the hour? The minimum space should be at least 6 hours. Some people don't know this. I did a video in BBC in England, and I told them, I said the minimum time you should use any medication after drinking alcohol should be minimum 6 hours, because alcohol and medication is a combination of a chemical reaction. You don't want to understand what goes on inside your stomach. And your stomach is just like a pot. You can control what you put in, but you can't control what goes on in there. It's like you're beating a baby and telling the baby how to cry. You can't dictate it. So in the same vein, let's be disciplined to know what we take in. Let's apply constraint. You see all these herbs, they tell you, oh, this one works. It will make you last long in bed. Yes. Although it looks dirty, but you just want to drink it so you can last long. And then you drink the whole bottle. Meanwhile, they say drink a little bit. I consult for a company called Fekomi, and they deal with wellness. I'm not placing an advert, but I'm saying I know about some of these things. And as they are doctor both in Nigeria, in the UK, and in the US, I tell people, follow the prescription. If they tell you take 1 spoon, please take 1 spoon. It doesn't. I heard of a man who took more than the required spoon because he wanted to impress the lady in the other room. He collapsed on the lady because he had high blood pressure. And let me tell you this, if you have not checked your blood pressure in the last 6 months and you are above the age of 35, President Tinubu, please declare a state of emergency. They should be arrested, because the truth is, and this I'm giving it to you for free, you're not paying for any consultation. If you want to be smart, sit down with your father. If you're a man, ask him questions. Daddy, do you have any health vulnerables? Do you have any health challenge? Is there something about you I need to know? Because sometimes, that's why when you come to the hospital, they ask you, is there anybody in your family that has diabetes? Is there anybody in your family that has high blood pressure? Because they know these things are genetical, so they want to trace them. So you need to know your dad's or your mom's or your parents' medical history so you can be guarded. I met a lady recently, she called yesterday also. The mom died of breast cancer. She has the fluid right now in the breast. For me, I'm very quick to say, let's do a biopsy and confirm, and then straight, let's take it out. For the husband, you can still use some agbo. And I told her, I said, please tell your husband, I said, if your mom passed because of breast cancer, now you have something in your breast, wisdom demands you run. You don't look back. You behave like the wife of, if you behave like the wife of Lot, you go in the direction of your mom. It's clear. So please, let's tone down on the abuse of medications. Number 3 is ignoring our mental health. We do that a lot here. You see, your mental health is so important that we really do not talk about it in this part of the world. You meet a lady today, she's billing you today. That's a mental health issue. That girl is mad. I'm telling you.
Thank you for that, please.
I have to say, you know, there are things I
concur.
When I traveled abroad, I discovered that I was with you before I traveled. And you know, in Nigeria, you meet a young lady. I had a program, and I was telling my friends there that when somebody comes to visit you, necessity is laid on you that you must give thanks for coming. You must appreciate them. You must take them out and at least make them feel happy. You must give them money. And these guys looked at me and they were like, you're aiding prostitution. Because when you give her money, she's thinking, what will I give you in return? Now we're in this part of the world where people are kind of, in quotes, impoverished. I feel you're alleviating their stress. But when I traveled, I discovered you go out with a young lady, she wants to actually pay for your dinner. If she instituted the meeting, she's ready to take care of you. You go for a wedding, anything you eat, you pay. It's a restaurant, a wedding reception. Whatever anybody orders for, you pay for what you order for. Here in Africa, from here to the junction of your estate, moi alone. That's a mental health issue, for God's sake. So people start getting angry that you mean moi has not gotten here? You mean jollof rice has not gotten to me? Now they get angry. That's entitlement mentality. It's also mental health issue. Now, do you know there is a? Do you know that there are tests? There is a test. Time will fail me to carry out the test on air. There are questionnaires I can read to you. If you do that test, you will discover that very many people in Lagos have mental health issues. And this is alarming. We need to be careful. Number 4, this is very important, not moving enough. Some of us, we live in a house where there is lift. We come downstairs, we enter our car, we drive to the office, we sit down from morning to night, get back into the car, back home. You're not moving enough. I think it's a misstep. We need to move. Sometimes move your feet. You have your metatarsals, your tarsals. You move them. Your wrist, your nerves. Just make sure you move your body. Sometimes while you're seated, you can stretch. Sometimes you can take a deep breath. I just taught you Samavriti Pranayama. Samavriti Pranayama. Good.
Okay.
So you can take a deep breath. If you can't go through the exercise, you can take a deep breath. Now, what that exercise does is that it exercises your lungs. And you will agree with me, it takes the lungs to breathe well. It takes the lungs to evade respiratory infections. So if you want to be free from these missteps, you need to consciously move enough. And then number 5, it's eating on the go. Try to eat well. In this part of the world, I think Nigerians eat well, but sometimes we eat lots of junks. You need to watch the restaurant. That food is ready does not mean health is safe. Food is ready does not mean your health is safe. So be careful where you eat. Don't just enter every restaurant you see. Take a step backward. You see, I tell people gala and soft drink in traffic is a no-no. It's not balanced. You need to eat well. Balanced diet will do. Some vegetables will help. And you see, vegetables are not really expensive. The reason why we find it difficult to take them is because we have that notion that it's a white man's food. But that's what your body needs to move you forward. In Africa, we wear I am busy as an ID card. Especially in Nigeria. Everybody is busy. But listen, you will not be too busy when you are admitted and you are in front of me in the hospital and I'm checking you every 4 hours. Create time for your health.
Create time for yourself. I love the fact that you ended on that beautiful note. Create time for yourself. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue with this highly insightful, health discussion. The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs located on either side of the spine, just below the rib cage. Though small, they play an essential role in maintaining the body's balance and overall health. Every day, the kidneys filter about 50 gallons of blood, removing waste products, toxins, and excess fluids, which are then excreted as urine. Beyond filtration, the kidneys regulate blood pressure, maintain electrolyte balance. Despite their importance, kidneys are often taken for granted until problems arise. Many misconceptions surround kidney health. For instance, while it is true that foods high in potassium should be limited for people with kidney disease, they are not harmful to those with healthy kidneys. Bananas, avocados, and sweet potatoes, which are rich in potassium, actually support kidney health for the average person. Another myth is that frequent urination is always a sign of kidney failure, whereas it could be related to diabetes, urinary infections, or other conditions. Caring for the kidneys begins with staying hydrated. Drinking adequate water daily helps flush toxins and reduces the risk of kidney stones. A balanced diet is equally important, low in salt and processed foods, but rich in fresh produce, lean proteins, and whole grains. Foods such as apples, garlic, cucumbers are particularly beneficial for kidney health. For those interested in natural cleansing, parsley and dandelion teas or lemon water can support kidney detoxification. But it is important to remember that the kidneys are naturally self-cleaning organs when properly hydrated.
KG5F Security Services. We are dependable, reliable, proficient, and gallant always. KG5F Security Services, officially licensed by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our services include general office security, personal security, asset protection, protocol services, physical security, aviation security, loss prevention, escort protection, security patrols, and access control. We are available 24/7. KG5F Security Services also provide installation of security gadgets such as CCTV camera, alarms, special communication equipment, and so on. Gallant security personnel are needed nationwide with attractive working benefits. Contact KG5F Head Office at 45 Prince Adeyemi Street off Governors Road, Ikotun, Lagos, or our branch office 25 Yaya Baton Road, adjacent Nationwide Petrol Station, Ogba, Lagos. For inquiries, call KG5F Security Services to serve and protect.
Engineer.
Welcome back. You're watching Early Starters on Opportunity TV. I've been having a lovely time, behind the camera, and I talked to the doctor. I asked him if he can help me with, trimming down a little bit, and then he asked me, who is complaining? I said, myself, Gongo. I am the one complaining, but he said, he still sees me as someone who is on the flat side of it. I don't know what flatness is talking about, but me, I'm not flat. All I know and I can see is that I am fat and I want to trim down. But now, we've done justice to the stress management thing, and we've been doing well to, mention the health missteps. And he mentioned 5. We are on number 3, sir, or number 2.
I've actually mentioned the 5, and I can take you over them.
No, because I want you to mention like 15. That's why I said.
Okay, so before we come back there,
right, sir.
Which I'm happy we have time, because I was actually looking at your time. I thought you finish up by 11, so
yeah.
That's why I was a bit very fast and trying to. So what does stress do? Number 1, it increases your blood pressure, and this is very, very dangerous. When your blood pressure keeps spiking, you could have cardiac arrest.
Okay.
The person could collapse. A lot of things can happen when the blood pressure gets really high. So you need to watch it, because it increases your blood pressure. Number 2, it increases your sugar level. So you need to be careful. For those who are susceptible to diabetes, or who have the family history of diabetes, you need to be careful. You need to watch it. Anytime you're feeling stress, you need to take out time. That's why I'm working on a series right now with an international station, the things you must know before the age of 20 in terms of your health, the things you must know before the age of 25, 30, 35, 40, all in series with Dr. Precious. So I'm doing that right now, all the way to 90. And in order for me to do this, I had to speak to people at different stages, and also combined with my knowledge in medicine. What stress does, number 3, it weakens your immune system. You see, your immunity is very important. When it is weak, that's when you start contacting all these communicable diseases. It is not every time you're in a place where someone is coughing and you eventually cough. Am I correct?
Yes.
There are times you're in a place someone is coughing and you end up not coughing. What happens is your immune system is strong, so you can overcome whatever has been in that.
Some people will say keep taking vitamin C and you'll be fine.
So this is another misstep. Like I said, abuse of medication. Do you know that it is wrong for you to take vitamin C with malaria medication? Yes, it's actually wrong, because it negates the power of the malaria medication. Vitamin C should not be taken with anti-malaria. But a lot of people do not know this. And you don't just take it. If you're taking, there are some medications you don't take. And this is very, very vital. Time will fail me, but maybe when next I come here, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to mention some popular drugs in Nigeria, and I'm going to tell you what other medications you should not mix it with.
We need to bring doctor back here.
This is
very, very,
if I'm in the country,
very
I will definitely
because I know you will be going back, very soon. But I would love you to.
It took me 2 years to make up time for Kemi, but it only took me 2 weeks to be with you.
But
it's all right. Number 4, it's what I call indigestion.
Okay.
You see, indigestion is what stress can do. You see, when you're stressed out, even if you eat so well, if something is stressing you in your mind, you will eventually have reflux syndrome or heartburn because you're stressed. And stress is not just about the physical environment. It also has to do with the mind, psychological. So you need to watch it. And then finally, increase in irritability. Irritability is that feeling of irritation. You just get angry easily. That's what stress does. When you see a woman who has not been ministered to in the marriage for a long period of time, when somebody at the office
who has not been
says,
ministered to.
Miriam knows what I'm talking about.
I understand.
I understand too.
Okay.
Very well.
So when you see her in the office, you see the way she snaps at her staffs. You think it's that thing they did that is making Madame to react. No, there is an underlying condition. Thank you very much. Deficiency of proper administration. You see Madame serving food to Oga and the food is anyhow. But when Oga responds well, Madame becomes happy. So everyone needs that satisfaction. I said this some time ago, a man needs minimum at least 21 times in a month to relieve himself. Minimum.
21 times.
It can be
How
more.
about a woman?
No, let me balance it. When I say minimum, I am saying in terms of averting possibilities of having prostate eventually.
We've heard that before.
So that's a balance.
We've
But
heard
when
that
it comes
before.
to the woman, I don't want to put a cap on it because I encourage movement in the other room. So you can have it as much as you want with Oga. Because what we have is the men feeling ready and the women saying, I'm not ready. And I'm here to say justice for the men.
Justice for the women.
God bless you.
So the
We are forming our own Justice League.
yes.
Thank you very much for that.
So some issues that really stress us in this part of the country, rent. When the landlord may be calling for something good, but immediately you see the landlord's call, there is that high blood pressure that comes in. Sometimes your phone notification. Do you know that it has been proven that bank alert reduces stress much more than medication? As Miriam is now, there is a kind of alert you send to Miriam now. She will produce oxytocin. She will produce dopamine. she would. There's a level of stress that
Yes.
would be reduced when money hits your account. You know, I learned this thing the first time I saw some millions. I did not feel the urge to eat. That was when it dawned on me that this breakfast, lunch, and dinner is for poor people. You know, they say eat 3 square meal. Is 3 a square?
3 is not
a
square.
square.
3
A square
not
is 4. It's a triangle
four.
with 4 sides. So rich people eat when they are hungry. They eat for vitality, vigor, and energy. But you see, poor people eat because it's breakfast. They eat because it's lunch. Sometimes I don't do dinner. Sometimes I don't do breakfast. Sometimes I eat when I want to eat, and I eat what I want to eat. So there are 2 different things.
And not what you see.
Yes,
What
so
you
you eat
see,
when
what
you
is
want
available.
and what you want. But you see, you now discipline yourself to eat healthy. So you don't have the pot belly and then you become overweight. Because sometimes when you eat junks, it doesn't help your body. So if you're the type that you like ice creams, you like meat pies, you need to let all that go. So some other things that causes stress, I would say poor transportation system. You get to the road and you're waiting for a bus for a very long time and there is nothing.
So many
You're a
little.
bit worried. Now, some people who have cars didn't used to feel this stress until thanks to the economy now, petrol is now very expensive.
1,000.
So when you drive into the petrol station, your blood pressure goes up. I bought fuel in my car recently, and I told him fill the tank, and I wasn't looking. So when this guy was done, he said my money was 114,000 to fill up the tank. I still had fuel in the car. That was when it dawned on me that, bro, it's not the Nigeria you left that you came back to. It's just a Benz, not even a G-Wagon. It's just a normal Mercedes-Benz SUV. Now imagine if it was a G-Wagon and I looked away. I'm sure my blood pressure would be so high I would need an ambulance. So guys, it's do you also know that your phone notification can cause stress?
Of course.
There are people that cannot look at their WhatsApp with one message. It's a mental health disorder. They want to always tick the buttons. They want to always check who is texting me, who is calling me. There are people when their phone rings, their blood pressure goes up. So you need to watch it. You need to take a chill pill. Sometimes social media, you need to take time off the screens. You know, some people can't discipline themselves. You need to tell yourself maybe 30 minutes before bedtime, no screen. You need to take yourself out of it. And this is also very important for some certain people is job security. When there is no job, the economy is going in the other way, they keep getting worried. So this would also help our viewers. For those who are always stressed on the move, how do you manage this stress? There are micro habits you can indulge in. When I mean micro habits, I mean small habits here and there, like I said earlier, moving, stretching, taking a deep breath. We did the exercise. Number 2 is protect your peace at all costs. You see, no one will guide or protect your peace like you. If there is something you don't want anybody to hear, don't tell anybody. You know those people that will tell their best friends, I don't want you to tell anybody, but this is what I'm going through. I'm sorry, you're the biggest dummy for yourself, because that person you're telling also has a best friend.
Yeah.
And that best friend has another
best friend.
So you must protect your peace. Turn off non-urgent notifications. Say no sometimes and schedule your life. Put a schedule around your life. And then the final point on that, how to manage stress on the move, is fuel your body and fuel your mind. You fuel your body and fuel your mind by eating well and by feeding your mind with the necessary things. Sometimes we find ourselves taking in junks. If a woman giving birth to yam in Abakaliki will not do anything for me, why am I interested in that news? It's not everything that is trending you should absorb. Sometimes you need to give your brain a break. Sometimes get out of Instagram. Leave the black app. Sometimes follow comedians. You know, I tell people laughter is therapeutic. It's medicinal. If you don't laugh, you won't last. There are people who don't laugh. They are as serious as the Nigerian economy. Always looking straight. Please, sometimes take a chill pill and laugh. Don't forget I said, if you don't laugh,
You won't last.
If you don't laugh,
Laugh,
you won't last.
last.
Okay, smile, laugh, but
Yes.
don't do the constant laughing thing. That
That one is also a mental health issue. So too much of everything is bad. So you must know when to place a limit. Now, what are the practical tips for busy people? I said I was going to give that
Yeah.
for free. If you find someone who is always busy and they keep telling you things like, I'm busy, number one, suggest that they should carry a wellness pack.
Okay.
You can have something like mint or menthol in your purse. You can have water in your purse. You can have lip balm. It's not wrong to have lipstick. There was some time ago, a girl's bag was checked. They saw charger, they saw nail, comb, and corn. I'm sorry, if you're a lady and in your bag, the only thing we can see is charger, comb, corn. There is no lip balm. There is no
Lipstick.
It's an anathema. It's an avalanche of malady. You need to carry a wellness pouch. You can have some healthy candies like your ginger candy, glucose. You can have water, lemon water, just something to keep you refreshed. And this is very, very important. You see, every hospital I've been privileged to practice, whether on locum or on full time, because I've been privileged to practice in Kenya, South Africa, and the UK, and not forgetting Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. Now, they always have dispensers, water dispensers. This is very important. If you have an office, you have a hospital, you don't have water dispenser, I'm sorry, you're not helping your staff, because they will burn out over time, break down over time, and it will tell on the establishment. And you as the staff, you must also understand that in medicine there is something called you first. Even in the aviation industry, they tell you save yourself first before you struggle to save someone else. So you must take care of your health first, else you'll be the next person on the bed. Number 2 tip is start small. You see, don't be too much in a hurry to take that big steps, because it could break you down. So many of us want to do big things, and I'm not saying you should not do big things, but can your shock absorber take it? Start small. For some of us, we are wired to handle big things. Yeah, some of us. But for some people, they are not wired to handle big things. When I was building, I have a real estate company as a doctor, and the reason I came up with this idea was during COVID. I discovered I can't make money unless I go to the hospital, and the hospital is where people are dying. And I started thinking, what can I do to make money while I sleep? So I began to invest in real estate. And we came up with King's Embassy, which is the umbrella company for Precious Villa.
So you have to bring that one here. Let's help you, push it further. We need to take it, make so much noise about it. And that is why we are here on Early Starters. Because if you say you want to talk about it now,
So I'm not talking about it. So what I'm trying to say in the nutshell is, we started with doing projects like 3 flats, because that was what we could do. And when we decided to do the estate with 17 units, we completed it in 4 months, and I was not stressed. I don't have a loan from any bank. The point I'm trying to make is, if I had started with the 17 flat units, I would have broken down. So you start small, then you grow into it. You're somebody who have not handled a young person or a young lady. You want to start with a big woman who is already established. You will have problem.
That's true.
That's true. That's very true.
Because our appetite is
you know
different
now
from yours.
they teach you online to do everything big, start big, have a big dream, and at the end of the day you realize that the person who is even motivating you, advising you, so to say, does not have anything. And there are people who disguise to be who they are. They are not.
Yes.
And the problem with the Gen Zs now is they just want to follow through whatever.
The bandwagon.
Yes. The bandwagon.
Like what this young man said, one of the famous comedians. He said, advice is what people give for free that they don't use.
They don't use it. That's
They
true.
give it to you for free.
For free.
They tell you quit your job and they don't have job. And if you listen to them, you are in trouble. So you need to be very careful. I was saying off camera the other time, I said there are people you shouldn't talk to. When you're bottling up a lot of things, it can lead to stress, but you need to find the right people and talk to them. You see, if you're not talking to the right people, maybe you have a friend and every time you talk to her, she's shouting, Mado, Mado. That's where you are going. You may soon come mad. You need to hang around people who would help think for you, think in your place, and tell you, give you solutions to that problem. They can tell you, okay, this is the way out, do it like this. But if you're not conscious enough to understand this, you may just keep talking to the wrong set of people and keep having stress, and the circle continues. I tell people, it's not a brand new day. It's a continuation from yesterday.
A continuation from yesterday. So if you don't finish up what you started yesterday, you have a continuum to work on the next day.
Yes.
All right. We'll be wrapping up this session as Michael Armstrong, continues with the sport highlight. We have a very, very, qualified professional and, of course, licensed doctor. You would have, gotten a thing or two from what he's been talking about, having practice here and there and there and there. But so you have to pay for all these things that you're saying, doctor. But that's a very good one and highly inspiring, I must say. And that means if you are looking for what you want to eat, if you're looking at what what I'm going to become, also think about your health. Doctor, I want you to link the stress thing with hepatitis, because I saw something about hepatitis on your status. Does it mean that stress births hepatitis?
No.
It's a different thing. Or I just want you to say something about that hepatitis B and C. I think so.
Okay.
Very
So
short.
Saturday is World Hepatitis Day, and I'm doing a free medical care, free medical treatment for.
But what is hepatitis?
I'm talking about it right now.
Because I don't want you to do a back of my program without paying. You have to pay.
If I'm not wise at this point, I think I'll have a problem. So we're giving back to the community, but that's not the issue. Now, I've discovered that a lot of people have hepatitis B and C, and hepatitis B is a blood-related issue, and it affects the liver. It can be sexually transmitted. I tell people hepatitis B is more dangerous than HIV. Yes, so you need to be careful. You need to have the necessary test before you indulge in unprotected sex. This is very, very vital. You need to know your partner's health. And then there are vaccines to guard it. I can't have it right now because I can't have hepatitis B right now because I've been vaccinated. In the United Kingdom, before you practice, they do all the treatments, all the vaccines, all the checks. Let me shock you. I took a tetanus vaccination. I took just one dose. It's supposed to be 3 doses. When I got to the UK, they said, have you been vaccinated for tetanus? I said, yes, I marked it. So they took me into the lab, they did the test, and they said they can only find 10% of that vaccinated dose in my system. So they subjected me to restarting and doing it again. So they are very intentional about people who work in internal medicine. So before you're permitted to treat and put your hand in people, they want to ensure that check. So yes, we need to do our blood tests. You need to go and check yourself. The same blood can be used to check your sugar level, your HIV. If you're the type that keeps having unprotected sex, then you are at risk. You need to go and do the test. Very, very important.
Hepatitis.
Yes.
Very important.
It affects...
Michael, if you're such person...
Why did you call his name?
No, I am just advising him now.
He's a gentleman.
A gentleman.
And you're putting him on the spot.
Okay.
That's a stress relief. So now, linking it to stress, when someone is told, imagine a doctor just tells you, you have hepatitis B. There's a way your whole world comes crashing. I remember some time ago, I heard the story of a young man who said he was about to make love to a lady in the other room, and the lady said, "I'm HIV positive." Just the sound of "I'm HIV positive" as a whisper in his ear, his erection disappeared. That was when he became spiritual. So sometimes we need to actually be intentional. I would say before you start having unprotected sex, both of you should have that mutual agreement. Talk about it. It is fraud and it's a criminal offense
Yes, it's
for
fraud.
you to
Yes,
know
fraud,
that
actually.
you are positive to HIV or hepatitis B or all those terminal conditions, and you do not share with your partner. If you are SS and your partner is AS, please tell him, because SS and AS should not marry. AS and AS should not marry. You can be friends, but you don't have any business raising children, because we know where the graph will end.
All right, doctor, I would like you to, put all of those things together as an advice for our viewers as to how best they can manage the stress. I haven't given them some techniques they can work with.
So I'll conclude by saying wellness is not a destination, it's a journey. You need to consciously drink water, and the easiest one, mind your business. So many people are very, very quick to bear other people's burden. The person that should actually bear your burden is God. He said, cast your cares
Upon
on
me, because
me.
he cares.
Yeah, so leave the burden for God and just focus on a day at a time. And I see us getting better as the day goes by.
All right, cast your cares on God and not on me or Michael Armstrong or on Dr. Precious Uwagbai. I sincerely love this episode, and it's just like we shouldn't, wrap up the program, but we have to wrap up the program to see you tomorrow morning. And I will be leaving you into the, in the hands of Michael Armstrong and of course David at Depojo. Felicity Unge is also there at the MCR, and they will be doing justice to the sport highlights. Have a good morning. See you at 12.
KG5F Security Services. We are dependable, reliable, proficient, and gallant always. KG5F Security Services, officially licensed by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our services include general office security, personal security, asset protection, protocol services, physical security, aviation security, loss prevention, escort protection, security patrols, and access control. We are available 24/7. KG5F Security Services also provide installation of security gadgets such as CCTV camera, alarms, special communication equipment, and so on. Gallant security personnel are needed nationwide with attractive working benefits. Contact KG5F Head Office at 45 Prince Adeyemi Street off Governors Road, Ikotun, Lagos, or our branch office 25 Yaya Baton Road, adjacent Nationwide Petrol Station, Ogba, Lagos. For inquiries, call KG5F Security Services, to serve and protect.
Hello, welcome to Opportune TV, and this is the sports segment on your early starter. I hope we've kick-started your morning today. We had a doctor in the house that even spoke. What got my attention was the mental stress issue. Now, this is your sports segment, and I'm going to give you something for the next few minutes that will enlighten and give your sports love a trigger. Now, you know, sports, we have the football, we have basketball, but I'm going to do justice only on football today. Now, as it is, football is the most celebrated game in the world. It has over 3 billion subscribers and also over 3 billion fans. So as it is, football is taking the center stage today. For those of you basketball lovers, I'm going to throw a tip on basketball too. First of all, let me start with the basketball. Nigerian FIBA representative in the world, the Tigress, which is also the young Tigress, are qualifying for their semi-final very soon. FIBA World Series hold in Switzerland 2025. And those of you who would do well to follow us on our social media handle, you can even drop your comments on what you expect after trumping Zambia. They trump Zambia flag. After trumping Zambia. The Trump Zambia flag goes to kneel down the South African counterpart. Why this match was crucial was that the South African counterpart beats Nigeria to go and collect the cup in the final. This is their 11th final. The Falcons are doing great. We have great captain Ajibade, who plays with Atletico Madrid. And we also have Oshola. We have a lot of wonderful people who have this team. And kudos to this coach. Well, the coach is a non-laughing coach, Nigerian coach. But the sweetest part is that they beat the women, the South African Bayana, who said that they know Nigerians, that they've beaten them before. And you know, South African women are always in trumping challenge with Nigeria. Kudos to Nigeria. Kudos to the Falcons and Captain Ajibade. You also have the same name with one of our captain, our chairman. He's also Ajibade. The Falconettes, congratulations. They are also going to be playing this Waffle Cup. This one is played in Morocco. They will play in the finals with Morocco. This is the second final Morocco is entering. They played Ghana. It ended up 1-1 and they slotted out. As they slotted out, they won. And they are going to play Nigeria in the final. It's going to be a very sweet final because the Moroccans are a little bit technical when it comes to football. And the past few years, they have been making rounds in football. And they believe they can handle the Falcons when it comes to the final. They said that they have the crowd with them, they have the stadium, and they also have the people who are relying on them to build the Nigeria Falcons. But I still tell the Falcons, congratulations, kudos. You can see our studio line send us a text message. You can do a little bit of calling because we are not spending much time here. We have some few times because we have some other things to do. It's still early status. It is the Estado Force on sports, and we're talking about the World Cup. Not to digress, we are still talking football. For those of you who are watching, now we have the Euro. It's also held in Switzerland, the Euro 2025 Female Euro Cup. It's called Female Euro Nations Cup, I beg your pardon. So I want you to go and glue your eyes to the TV because we have the world champion who is Spain and the Euro champion who is England. England is in the semi-final. England edged out Sweden and they are in the semi-final. You also have Spain in the semi-final. Spain will be playing Germany while England looks towards the hospital today, looking forward to get to the final. It has been a very wonderful time in Switzerland and they are all looking forward, saying, okay, let's see what will happen. It's been a game of choice, it's been a game of emotion, and also it's been a game of attention. Don't forget, football is known as a game of random. Some people see it as kinetic theory. Some people see it as what we call the gridiron gang match. Now, it is not an easy thing to play for like 2 hours, what they've been training for over a week or 2 weeks. It is still sports on early starters on Opportune TV. We are still not digressing. Now, we also have the Team B. They call it the Team B and Chan Cup that the Eagles are playing. They are going to Florida on Saturday in the final with Ghana. Ghana is expecting to play the Nigerian Team B. They are all expecting to play Nigerian Team B. What you're just seeing on the screen is still the CAF Women's Nation Cup that is going on in Morocco, and they are playing the finals on Saturday. Now, the third play match is going to be played with Ghana. And what's the name of these people that Nigeria beat? South Africa. Ghana and South Africa will be slotting it out for the bronze, while Nigeria and Morocco will be slotting it out for the gold medal. The gold, the cup has been reshaped. It has been given a fine effigy. We have some image there. And I know the Falcons will do it well to make us proud. The First Lady of the Federation also gave kudos to them, saying it's a wonderful game. Now, not still digressing, it's still football. I want to take you to England. England, oh my England, to the city of London. Yesterday, Arsenal fans were doing the close eye thing because they know that their own striker, their maestro, the guy they have been waiting for, the person who paid his tithe and offering for himself and his fans to go to Arsenal is known as Gyökeres. Gyökeres has been signed yesterday by Arsenal, and today he is going to meet them in the Abu Dhabi Stadium in Abu Dhabi in the Arab Emirates, where they slotted out with AC Milan and some other clubs who are looking forward to shaping their 2025-2026 season. And don't forget, it is next month that the Premiership is starting. They're going to still play the Super Cup. They will play the Community Shield. It's not Arsenal that's playing it, but the Premiership have the Community Shield, the Super Cup coming up. So I want you to get ready and know that good things happen when you listen to the Ask Football station, Opportune TV. I am your friend, your brother, your sports lover, the Estado Force, coming on your screen to tell you more sports. We're going to be rounding up because we don't have too many time. And we'll also work on our pictures, work on our time, and work on everything else. Now, let me round up with this. The BAL is on, which is known as Basketball African League. Plan yourself to follow on all social media handle. They train people, they take them to the US, they carry clubs from Africa and make them rich clubs in sport. I'm going to round it up now because my time is up. From tomorrow we'll have more time to discuss sports and to give you what you want to chill your day and trigger your love for the good game, which is known as football. While in other facets of sports, we're saying we're going to bring something to you very soon. I'm signing out, I'm drawing the curtain, and I'm giving it on a stamp. This is the Estado Force. This is Michael Armstrong on Early Status. See you more, see you smiling, and see you tomorrow. Stay tuned.